All right, we did it. All right, one more. Let's do one more. This is nuts too. All right. Let's get this going. One last one, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kinetic Compressions Movie News. I'm Andy.
I'm Andy.
And today we're going to be talking about the Great Emu War. Just to give some context, I'm going to read a little bit from slashfilm.com. In 1930s, Western Australia had a problem: an overabundance of emus. The solution? Send in a bunch of soldiers with machine guns to cut down the emu population. The story gets even stranger and better, but while many birds were killed, the emu population continued to thrive. It is dubbed the Emu War by the media, and in the end, the emus won. Now, two people who you probably never expected to be working together, John Cleese and Rob Schneider, are teaming up to make the Great Emu War. Bro, this is like if you've never heard of the Great Emu War, I heard about it from a TikTok. Just a random TikTok I was scrolling through and I heard about this. It is real. In Australia, 1930s Australia, there was a fucking emu problem. So they instructed the military to go out and just fucking murder the emus. But they couldn't stop them all. And so they were dubbed the winners of the war. I want to say this about Rob Schneider. I think he's a really good actor. I think he is probably one of the most underrated comedic actors in history.
Wow.
Have you watched some of his? Have you watched some of his later stuff?
Yeah, I haven't watched. I'll say I haven't not watched anything in the past decade of his stuff.
So he's done a couple TV shows that are a little kind of esoteric. He does one called the Rob Schneider Show, I think it's called, where it's just basically him playing himself.
Real Rob.
Really, really, really good stuff.
It's called Real Rob.
What's it called?
Real Rob.
Yeah, Real Rob. It's really good. I think it's like in the same vein as like episodes. It's just really well done, and I think he's really good in it as well. And if you remember, like Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo, bro, like that was a fun movie.
That's
and I think he was.
Yeah, like something like that is what I remember. Bedtime Story. You know, he was a long-time protege with Adam Sandler.
Yeah. And
he was associated with almost every big Adam Sandler movie for a while. And
I remember that one, like when during he played that like hit guy in Waterboy who would say, "You can do it," and then Adam Sandler would also like they would swap roles when it was one of his movies. Adam Sandler would be like, "You can do it" at some random time.
Right,
sure.
But like I'm just thinking of like there's so many times where he stole one of the most iconic roles of movies. I'm just looking at it and like there's no way that like you wouldn't remember the "You Can Do It" in Waterboy, the delivery guy in Big Daddy.
Yeah.
He steals the show. He's so hilarious in that. Remember like he was just like he's introduced in that movie by like not wanting to make his delivery.
Yeah.
And saying, "Hey man, or like, hey man, we got this order wrong. Do you want to share this food?"
Yeah. Or like, I live vicariously through you, man. Like, you let me know about these dates.
Yeah, and then Little Nicky. I'm thinking of like Little Nicky. He's also the townie in Little Nicky. Mr. Deeds. He's the Italian delivery man. He comes back in the same role.
Yeah,
and he was in 50 First Dates. He plays a very iconic role in that too. He comes back as like the same character in other things. And then Deuce Bigelow, he was great in Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, and
like made that franchise, right? Like, I mean,
made it to a big franchise. And he does this thing where, like, kind of like Adam Sandler, he has, and like we were talking about Spielberg and Soderbergh, he brings a sentimentality to his acting that I really fucking like. And that's the reason everyone likes Adam Sandler too, because he really Adam Sandler's really funny, but he's also really fucking he plays like that good guy really well. Where like he's like the nice guy, the good guy, and he just brings a sentimentality to his acting that I just think is really fucking fun.
I was gonna kind of mention this in our last thing when we were talking in our last video when we were talking about Elizabeth Banks. Um, there's something very different when you're in that type of comedy. There is different types of comedy in the genre, and I think there's like a big difference between like even the guys who played in the middle, who I think is like Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen. They do these movies that are just slapstick, really funny, but they also have really good roles around them that take that sentimental part of the movie. I'm thinking of like things like instead of just doing Pineapple Express movies, you do 50-50. You know what I mean? You do something that like is hilarious still, but like you can add depth into that comedic role. And I think that's something that Rob Schneider and like Adam did well in the 90s and brought that genre up with them to where we didn't just need the stupid movie, which is how Adam Sandler started, right? Like Adam really started more doing water, like what we were talking about, Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, those types of things that had like a little bit of a sentimental side story, but he really got more popular with having things like 50 First Dates and that kind of stuff, where they added that emotion that was lost in comedies.
Yeah, and I miss that. Yeah, and I miss that in some comedies. And Adam Sandler comedies, when they are really good, they do that really well. They really bring some funny aspects to it, but he is just he brings a lot of heart and just real emotion to some of these. But like 50 First Dates is a perfect example. Because it's a hilarious movie and the premise is super funny, but at the heart of that film, it is about a man falling in love with a woman, and their love just kind of like the whole aspect of the movie is about the love that he's trying to build with a woman who has something really terrible happening to her.
He changed the game when like people started crying. You go to a comedy because you don't want the chick flick. You didn't want to go because of the chick flick. You didn't want to cry, and you end up crying at the movie. You're like, Adam, you did it. I mean, you did it in Click. He brings that emotion in Click, like things like Click and stuff. I'm like, yeah, he was a genius in his heyday.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. And I think Rob Schneider, I think he gets pigeonholed a lot because he's not as attractive as Adam Sandler, and I think that plays a big part of it because he just doesn't look like the nice guy heartthrob, but I really do think he's a good actor, and he really showed a lot in that TV show that I was talking about. He's really, really good in it, and I've watched a bunch of episodes of it, and I think this kind of project with John Cleese, of all people,
right?
Like, let's talk about John Cleese for a second. Storied actor, just comedic genius, Monty Python. Just the kind of like he's done roles of all kinds of all stature. I think he's fucking knighted. The fact that he is in this project as well speaks volumes to the script and the thing that's coming together. And if I showed you, I'm gonna show you back to the article. He's literally fucking hugging Rob Schneider. Like they're having a bro moment. You're bringing like the fact that John Cleese alone is being part of this project speaks volumes to the prowess of this script. He's also writing this script with a guy named his name is Zach. I forget the name. He teams up with a guy named he's an Australian comedian who he's teaming up with. It's Monty Franklin. He's a stand-up comic from Australia. I haven't seen much of his work, but I like that they're bringing in an actual Australian to write this thing well, because that's important, And I'm thinking back to the kind of movie this is probably going to be. It's going to be a war movie against emus, right? So we're going to get generals and like military men. It's going to be like this out in the world boonies thing where just like we're attacking. It's going to be like Operation Dumbo Drop, but it's Operation Kill as many fucking emus as you can. And I am just excited to see just the chemistry between John Cleese and Rob Schneider, right?
I think it's going to be great. I mean, like John Cleese has not done that much. He's done a lot of voice acting recently.
Yeah,
more in the last couple of decades. So I'm really going to like seeing him on the big screen. This is a great subject. I hope our subjects never mix. I hope the cocaine bear never meets the emu war. But
God, that should be our movie. That's what we should do. We should make the Great Emu War Pablo Escobar mashup.
oh my god, we can make the like the Sharknado. We can make Pablo Escobar versus
That's how we do it, man. That's how we get in. We make those movies. We make the movies that combine all the fucking movies together.
See,
We get in there. It's a comedy horror movie.
Um,
Yeah, I'm excited.
We haven't gotten to see John Cleese on the big screen for a little bit, and that's all.
You're
I want
right.
to say. Like,
You're right.
I can't wait. I can't wait to really get him back. Get him back, and like I haven't seen Rob Schneider in the big screen for a while too.
Yeah.
I think this could be special. As we saw that picture, even with that picture, I think the picture is special. So I think this could be a good movie. I think I can't wait for the Great Emu. Like
yeah, absolutely. I wish nothing but the best for this movie. The best for this movie. I think the fact that you have a talent such as John Cleese stepping into this does say that he thinks this is good, because John Cleese, John Cleese doesn't do a bad movie. All right, he doesn't step into something lightly. He's the kind of actor that reads scripts and makes sure that it's good, and make sure that it's something that he can definitely put his hands into and do a really good thing. And he's a comedy legend. And like the melding of the kind of underdogged talent of Rob Schneider with a story talent of John Cleese in a Great Emu War movie is just something that really excites me and makes me feel like there's a new era of Rob Schneider movie that is coming that I hope is really good, for sure. And I want to see good comedy, man. Good comedy in the world. I want to see a good fucking war comedy. Some of the great war comedies, you got Good Morning Vietnam. Like I said, Operation Dumbo Drop. What's that one with Keenan? Not Keenan, with one of the Wayans brothers. What's the guy's name? It's like the guy's, I forget the guy's name in it, but like a good war comedy movie is something that I'm really interested in. And of course the classic the classic one with Robert Downey Jr. Playing a black guy.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. I think that's probably the best war movie comedy we've seen in a long that's come out in the last couple fucking 2 decades. I want a good
things blowing up. Like that's what we wanted.
Yeah, a good fucking war comedy movie is definitely something we have been waiting for and hasn't happened in a long time. It's time for something like that for sure.
And I really do when you mention this, I just see John Cleese is just so fitting in a war type movie like this. He's one of those guys that thank God he never did it, because he was thank God he never does these types of movies, because they're usually bad. But he's the kind of guy that I'd love to see as the guy that gets stuck on the island with Godzilla, or the guy that's stuck on a King Kong style movie. If he was in those, you'd watch it, because John Cleese is just perfect in those roles. But he's he has 173 credits, or 170 as an actor.
Yeah.
But in the last couple decades, he really does pick and choose what he's doing if it's not voice acting, because he can make all his money voice acting because he's a legend.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
And he can just put Monty Python, he could put Monty Python on a Dr. Pepper and make money off of it. So
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I hope it's good. I just want to see a fucking Emu War movie, the fucking Great Emu War, bro. Who the fucking thought? I don't know when it's gonna come out, but I'm fucking excited for this, and I'm happy for the chance that Rob Schneider has again. This is a really fucking good chance for him to come back out. Come back out, show the world his schnapps, and actually really fucking I just want to come back for Rob Schneider is what I want. I want a solid comeback.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's all I was thinking about whenever we when we were looking at this article. I was like, oh man, if he can come back, I think he's of that age where his looks are different now. He can play different parts. I was telling you earlier.
He's swole too.
Yeah. And I was telling you earlier, like for a different video, that like the age of an actor makes a big difference in Hollywood
Yeah.
because there's just certain roles that you can play, and there's just certain things that people don't like, don't want to see. We didn't see Adam Sandler in a movie in those Middle Ages for a while until we got something like, Gem. What's it called? Gemstone.
The
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Oh yeah.
I was trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't get him in a
Yeah.
role because like that role is very specific to that age, and
Yeah.
like it's very typecasted. Like it's very
Yeah.
like, and there's people who already fit into those roles too well that people rather see, and like there's people like Brad Pitt who, like, no matter what age he is, oh, is he an old, like he goes makes Moneyball as a 4-year-old, and he comes back like, he comes back the next year and he's like, some buff guy playing 10 years younger. Like he can go either way so many times. Like, and so there's actors who like don't have that like luxury, and I think we could really see like Rob Schneider come back in that later part of his life.
Yeah.
And that
sure.
second half of his life, he can make a comeback and be really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Comedy's there, man. Comedy's there, and we need it. We need it badly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely. After everything, man. Oh man, last couple months has been fucking wild, especially in Texas. By the way, guys, that's why we've been gone for so long. Fucking Texas has been through it.
But yeah, I think like let us know. I think people should let us know what our their favorite Rob Schneider movie is, and some of their favorite roles in his. Their favorite roles of his is what I was trying to say, right? Like that. I'd love to see some comments and stuff like that.
For sure. And also let us know what John Cleese movie you want us to review.
Yes,
for sure.
That's needed.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Please like, comment, subscribe. I have a little project called the Arnie Diaz Show. It's a little bit of independent journalism. Do some interviews and stuff. And Drew, what do we always say?
Go watch a fucking movie.
Go watch a fucking movie.